Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Boston, Mass. I'm here at Constitution Beach here, out on a walk. I just got in probably about a little bit over an hour ago, and this is my first major walk since the weekend. Over the weekend, I participated and completed my first 100-mile race. And man, it was such an experience, so much of an experience that I've had to take the time to sit down and think about it before doing this particular video. So it's going to be a little bit long, but I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. In January, my good friend Larry told me that he was participating in this Bring the Rings 100-mile marathon, and the moment he said it to me, the Holy Spirit told me that, Ron, you need to do that race with him. And I was struggling with it because though I do a bunch of running, a bunch of marathons, I wasn't certain if I was ready to do the 100-meter yet. You see, the idea and the goal has been to shoot. Actually, I wanted the first to be the Leadville 100, the first and only initially. But the Holy Spirit told me to do it, so over the weekend I did it. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple of things leading up to that. The number 143 to me is it's internet slang for I love you. And what I look at it is, when I see that number, anytime I see that number or variations of that number, like 143, 314, 431, things of the sort, it's my way of knowing that God is telling me that He loves me. So we get into, I paid for the actual race itself. It ended up being $413. So I was like, okay, that's cool. We start out the race, and one of the things that I was trying to do was just keep my heart rate down, because for longer distances, it's just something that I've been working on. One of the things that my brother Tommy's been talking to me about. And so at some point, my heart rate was about 143. And then my brother Larry, as I was running with him, his was at 143. And I was like, dog, brother, that's like a God wink for me. You know, this is, you know, like, I know we're off to a good start, that we're supposed to be here in this moment, things of the sort. And then my brother Larry says to me, oh, it's like Philippians 4:13, which it says, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So anyway, the race is going on. At some point at mile 23, 24, we're in the top of Mount Rosa, which is like 11,000 feet elevation. And it's hailing and sleeting and snowing. And it's just moments like, it's like nothing that I'd never experienced before. And we were going along. Initially for me going into this race, I was hoping to do a sub 30. And then at some point, I was feeling really good. I was like, you know what? I may do 28, 29 hours for this 100-miler. And then at some point in the middle of the night, things just got kind of crazy. The headlamp I had wasn't that great. I was getting lost in certain points of the race because of changing of flags and things of the sort. It was so muddy for a lot of the climbs because of the rain and sleet that had happened earlier in the day. It was just a lot of things going on. And by mile 75, I was on the top of a hill, not realizing how much climbing that I had to do. And I just quit. I was done. I couldn't do any more. And when I got to that point, I realized that I didn't have any more in me. And I remember sitting down on a rock and saying to God, I said, hey, God, I know you want me to do this 100-miler. I know you told me this is what you want me to do, but I don't think I have it in me. I don't have it in me anymore. And I just kind of sat there and I was sort of wallowing in my self-defeat. Then I meet Greg and Jim, and they come with me and they say, come on, let's just go. We're not going to make it all the way, but let's just make it to the next aid station, which was 7 miles away. and there's all still more climbing. And I remember at this point feeling so defeated because I was thinking to myself, man, if I can't finish this 100-miler, all this other stuff that I'm talking about doing, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, I can't, if I'm talking about doing a 250-miler someday and I can't even finish a 100-miler is what I was thinking. And thinking like I was quitting on even the aspect of doing the 24 marathons in these 2 years. It was just it was a moment of beating myself up there for a moment. But I just kept going. We get to mile 82, 7 miles, the next aid station. And I meet Wes and the amazing Heather. And also Jamil, who is the race director, let me say you something amazing about Jamil. I've never seen in any race that I've ever done where the owner, founder of the race would call and text to check on you just to make sure you're all right. Like it was just an amazing moment. And I just wanted to shout him out because he's an amazing runner in himself. And I wanted to say thank you. But I meet Heather and Wes, and I'm done at mile 82. And she says, and they're clapping when I come in. It's like, man, you look great. You look amazing. And I'm feeling defeated at this moment. And he was like, man, Ron, you got it in you. And Heather was telling me about the 100K that she was going to go through and do. So I said, you know what? At some point, I see Greg, and I said, Greg, let's go and let's go get this. Like, I don't want to come back with resentment. I don't want to come back with regret. Let's just go get it. And I ended up going to get it. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of, you know, whether you believe in God or not believe in God, whatever your faith is, whatever your higher power is, I know that my higher power put in people like Jamil, people like Heather, people like Wes, people like Jim, people like Greg, people like Tyler, people like Evan, people like Sano. All of these people were people I met in the race who just pushed me along, even when I couldn't do it myself. Like I knew I couldn't do it myself. And once again, I'm coming back to that Bible verse, Philippians 4:13. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And it was all him working through me and working through other people. I ended up completing that marathon in 35 hours. This one part I want to mention as well. I met Sano and his wife on the course. I was about mile 95. And he was having some troubles coming up the hill. And I wasn't looking forward to that hill as well. And Sano is a former disabled veteran. And the Holy Spirit told me to give him my trekking sticks because I needed to be able to pay it forward. And it was such a moment. Like I stopped for a bit and talked to him and his wife. He took a picture with him as well. And let me just say this. The man I am before I started the race is a completely different man than after the race. And this race impacted me so much mentally, spiritually, and physically that that my life is completely changed because of it. And I truly am highly blessed and highly favored. At the end of the race, I had Heather and Wes. They were there rooting me on as I crossed the finish line. My brother Larry was there, Tyler, Evan, Patty, who was Jamil's mother. And I was, man, I know this video went on long, but this was a video that I needed to do. And this is what I need to tell you. I know how hard I go. I know how I know how much work I put in and discipline I put into what I do. And even I have my moments of weaknesses. And this is just a video telling you you can do anything in this world that you put your mind to. And sometimes it's gonna feel very daunting. And sometimes you're just gonna give up. Like you're gonna literally give up. But it's just moments, man. And you can push through those moments. And I'm thankful that I was able to. And I'm thankful for the people who came around me to help me along in my process. As I always say, be blessed today and every day. Talk to you soon. Peace.